Ina mana ina reo, ina karanga maha, tēnā pito o tēnā pito o te motu. Nā mai, piki mai, kaki mai, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou koutua. I'd just like to thank Ra and his small team. They're actually, well, they are Ngāti Whātua, or Ra is. He's also a compliance officer in MPI. So you can imagine trying to tussle with him over something out on the fisheries front or wherever it might be. Good luck. So welcome for that wonderful mihi, and explaining it to all those visitors as well is much appreciated. Before I start the formal welcomes, I just want to also thank Roger for his introduction earlier. He might have given the health and safety, but he's also doubling up at the moment. He's obviously, for many of you will understand and know that Roger is our senior member in Beijing, and I was just a guest of his in Beijing, and I got this cold from him, not necessarily from Roger, but courtesy of his well-defined program. And of course, I'm not going to mention it in the formal part, but I will in this, as I came back early from Beijing, having had to pass the rest of the trip and to Japan for obvious reasons with all that's gone on in Wellington. And for many of us here today who are looking around the crowd, there are a lot of Wellingtonians. I'm very conscious that people are concerned, and obviously it's on front of mind for many, the many hundreds of our staff from across the board. And I also know that from other departments that are here as well, we share the same concerns, and hopefully they will soon pass. So with all that, kia ora tātou everybody, and I'd like to especially welcome our Minister, the Minister for Primary Industries, the Honourable Nathan Guy, here at the Biosecurity 2025. You'll often hear the Minister say this is his most important priority, and as I'm sure we'll hear this morning, it certainly is. I'd also like to welcome our peer reviewers for the Biosecurity 2025, John Hellstrom, Glenys Payne and Mike Clout. Great to have you here. Also our Biosecurity champions, Ruud Kleinplast, Bruce Wills, Anna Probert and Graham Marshall, industry and government representatives and distinguished guests. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to attend this forum. In particular, thanks to our government industry agreement partners, our GIA partners, who along with the MPI are hosting today's event. We have as a country a complex biosecurity system with many different players working together to ensure New Zealand stays protected from pests and diseases. Over the past few months, through the MPI-led process of consultation on Biosecurity 2025 project, there has been a groundswell of support for working together for the benefit of New Zealand's biosecurity system. Through the consultation meetings, we have heard how important it is that we work collaboratively to ensure our biosecurity system remains resilient. We have already begun to move in this direction. The government-industry agreement is a partnership between MPI and industry partners to manage decisions and costs associated with readiness and response activities. There are now 11 industry organisations that partner with MPI. Today's forum is a great example of that collaboration between MPI, industry, and the benefits that can come from such a partnership. For our biosecurity system to remain strong, we will need to forge wider partnerships across all sectors, including government, industry and stakeholders, education providers, research institutes and the public. But we also need to engage those outside the biosecurity system. All New Zealanders will need to understand the importance of biosecurity and their role that entails. We need a biosecurity team involving every New Zealander. And if you look at the Biosecurity 2025 booklet, program, the 5 tools, the first one is just that, 4.7 million New Zealanders as quarantine biosecurity officers in their own right. To help New Zealanders and visitors play their part, MPI is developing a mobile application. This app will support passengers to do the right thing when they come into New Zealand. And I've asked my officials to prioritise the development of this app so that it is ready for use as soon as possible. I've seen it in action, and it's a great initiative. I would also want to add, as you'll probably hear shortly from the Minister, there are many, many other things that we have underway in the biosecurity spectrum. Today, I hope you enjoy the forum. I trust that many of you will participate in the workshops tomorrow, where we will begin discussions about how we will move the whole program forward together to further strengthen our biosecurity system. MPI will need to lead the process of rolling out Biosecurity 2025, but collaboration will be the key to successful implementation. You will hear more tomorrow about MPI's proposals for a process that keeps stakeholders involved as we move into the implementation stage. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Minister for Primary Industries, the Honourable Nathan Guy, to give the keynote address.